Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? The Saints on Thursday introduced Andy Dalton. And you might remember when Andy Dalton signed with the Bears a year ago, the Bears kind of infamously now put out that tweet that said QB1. They had essentially ordained Andy Dalton their starter. And they had Nick Foles there, but then they would go on to draft Justin Fields. And so they kind of had to walk that back, the QB1 thing, and Andy Dalton pushed back on people who even questioned it, and we all saw, of course, what happened. Ultimately, he did lose his job this year, and it was not a great year in Chicago. There is no such ambiguity here. Andy Dalton, when he met with the media today, when he was asked about Jameis Winston and his role there, made it very clear why he's here.
No, this is Jameis's thing, and I'm here to help him out in any way that I can. So I'm excited to work with him, excited to be in the same room and see everything I can do to help him out to make him the best player that he can be.
This is Jameis's thing. I'm here to help him out however I can. There is no question. Remember, a year ago, there was a competition, real, feigned, whatever it may be, with Taysom and Jameis, where they were going through the offseason. Even the preseason, remember, Taysom Hill started the first preseason game, and the Saints only played 2 preseason games because of Ida. So Taysom started one, Jameis started one. I mean, they were splitting reps. Not this year. You were going into this offseason knowing Jameis is your guy. Andy Dalton's there as a guy who's thrown for 35,000 yards in his career, an experienced veteran to be there for Jameis to lean on. And in case if you need a guy to get in there and start in a pinch, Andy can do it and should be able to do it pretty seamlessly. And he was asked about his experience and the role that his experience can help this team.
I've had a ton of experience and been around the game for a long time. And I think when it comes down to the preparation of everything, I may have some ideas that they may look at. I may have some questions that, I can bring up to hopefully start conversations that can make sure everybody's on the same page and everything. So I think there's things I can do. And also when it comes to practice and the scout team, it's I feel like my whole goal is going to be out there to try to do everything I can to complete a bunch of balls in practice. So, I'm like I said, I feel like my experience will bring a lot.
This guy who understands his role, and I appreciate that. Hearing him talk, it reminds me a lot of when Mark Brunell was Drew Brees' backup. Mark Brunell was a longtime starter in the league. He had taken the Jags to an AFC championship game in their second year in existence. And I can still see how many times when Drew Brees would come to the sideline and he's sitting on the bench, and he's looking at the still shots before everyone had the surface. He's looking at the still shots, the freeze frames of all the plays, and Mark Brunell was sitting right next to him. Just another veteran set of eyes who's seen everything this league has to offer to lend assistance in game. I think that's going to be Andy Dalton's biggest asset on this team. Now, it's also a question of, okay, well, why New Orleans? If you're Andy Dalton and you've been a starter throughout your career, why not look for that next opportunity to be a starter? Here was Andy on why the Saints were appealing.
For me, and especially at this point in my career, you want to be part of a good organization and a good team. And that's one thing that New Orleans checks both those boxes. And so, I'm excited about the opportunity here, excited to be part of this and continue to build on what this team's done.
It is so interesting, man. Obviously, over the last 15 years, there's just been unprecedented success in New Orleans. But to continuously hear people refer to New Orleans as a good organization, a winning organization, a championship organization, they've earned that now. They've earned that reputation, but it just wasn't always that way. Clearly, it is now. One more from Dalton on the Saints organization as a whole.
Having a couple conversations with a couple coaches and everything, this organization, from everything that I've been told and everything that I've seen from afar, just does everything the right way and gives the players and coaches and everybody within the organization everything that they need to be successful. You've seen the success that this team has had for a long time. I've obviously followed Drew's career here and everything that they were able to do offensively and and everything. And so when you just look at it, you see a class organization that does things the right way, and it's something that you want to be part of.
So they've answered the backup quarterback question now with Andy Dalton. Of course, your starter is Jameis Winston, and that's no longer even a question or in doubt. How they fill in left tackle, what do they do at safety? We've already heard Mickey Loomis and Dennis Allen both say that they still have to address the receiver position. Those are going to be very interesting questions moving forward. The draft is a month away, and I am so interested, always in the draft, but to see how this plays out. But typically as you get closer to the draft, as the combine is come and gone, as you've had pro days, etc., there are certain things that become clear. What position or player a certain team may covet. If there's a no doubt at number 1 overall, sometimes the team makes it known that they're going to draft that player. They can even start working out a contract with that player's agent, sort of thing. Something that we're starting to see a good bit pick up is Kenny Pickett to the Panthers. And a USA Today mock draft had that today. Mike Tannenbaum, former GM of the Jets, who now is on ESPN, put out a mock draft where they each had Kenny Pickett 6th overall to Carolina. That's obviously of great importance here because the Panthers are in the Saints division. But they also, both of those mock drafts that I referenced, mentioned Trevor Penning, the offensive tackle from Northern Iowa, going to New Orleans at 18 overall. And the need at left tackle became very obvious after Teron Armstead left for Miami. The question is if Trevor Penning will be on the board at 18 when the Saints pick. And do they value him as the best player available at 18 if he is there? Do they go offensive tackle instead of receiver? Or do they flip Ramczyk to left tackle? Are they content with Hurst at left tackle with Andrus Peat coming back healthy, who has played left tackle in his career as well, was a left tackle in college and has been the backup left tackle in New Orleans. That's going to be fascinating to watch it play out. As you continue to... The question marks the Saints still have are obvious. We mentioned safety with Malcolm Jenkins retiring, left tackle with Teron Armstead going to Miami. You still need help at number 2 receiver. I mean, there's spots you need help. How you fill in those blanks will be very interesting. I would be very okay. I'd be good with Trevor Penning at 18 if he's there. If you feel like you get a franchise left tackle at number 18, a guy that went and blew up the combine, ran the 5th fastest 10-yard split in the 40 among linemen, despite weighing 325 pounds. Give me that athletic dude with a mean, nasty streak. You go watch some of the video of Trevor Penning at practices from the Senior Bowl. Dude, he was pissing off a lot of them defensive linemen because he was getting nasty at practice. Like, give me that dude. A big, mean dude at left tackle. Heck yeah. I would take that in a heartbeat. So, something worth keeping an eye on as we move closer to the draft as well. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.